Okay, здравствуйте, товарищи. Welcome back to Stalin's Starcraft 2 Battle Report. And we've got another viewer replay for you guys, and this is a pretty good one, if I do say so myself. So, this is on a map called Monsoon, and I actually do recall the name of the fellow who sent this one in. I think the Starcraft name of this guy is Sky Hero, who will be commanding the Teal Terran. His allies include the Architect commanding the Red Zerg, and Chad P commanding the Blue Zerg. Across the map, we have Biocide commanding the Purple Zerg, Convict commanding the Orange Protoss, and Red Rum commanding the Yellow Terran. So, if you were reading the chat at the beginning there, you could see that they were talking about who they're going to rush, when they're going to rush them, that sort of deal. I'm assuming, I don't know if all three of these guys know each other, but I know, I think at least the two Zerg guys know what's going down in this matchup. You can see already that Chad P has sent out a scouting overlord to check out what's going on. Both these guys got their pull down. You can see they're trying to coordinate some kind of rush. But you know, all these Zerg players are in line with each other. There's 3 Zerg players on the map. Usually you don't see that many Zerg players because Zerg is actually the least played race online. Not a lot of people are out there playing as a Zerg, mainly because, well, actually I don't know. I don't claim to know all the answers, but if I were to speculate as to why less people play Zerg than other races, it would be because, one, they're more unconventional than the other 2 races, who are just very, you know, very similar to what you would find in RTSs. And as well, if you want to maintain production as a Zerg, you got to make some pretty tough choices, and you also got to be micromanaging those queens to make sure you're always on top of the ball there. And there's a lot of stuff you got to manage, as well as you're managing the creep and everything. But I really enjoy playing as a Zerg. I just think they're really cool, and I don't know. I think they require more skill than the other races to play. I'm kind of weird in the sense that I kind of find what everybody likes to do, and then I do the opposite of that. But only a couple Zerglings out by these guys. You know. But we can see that the Architect is sending 6 Zerglings out. Looks like he's going to do a little bit of scouting. Oh no! Oh no! The Convict has 2 Zealots running around. He's chasing down these Zerglings. And they're going to be able to catch 2 of them and cut them up. You see that the Architect is going to take his Zerglings. He's going to run to the enemy base, see that Spine Crawler, and he's going to go away. But he is going to run up into Convict's base and start eating up these probes. Poor probes. And on the other side of the map, Chad P's got a whole bunch more Zerglings out, so he's able to ward off those Zealots. Convict pulls over his probes, and Architect Zerglings get mopped up by this combined Zealot Zergling force. Sky Hero also has a Marauder out, not too effective against those Zerglings. Of course, a little bit more harassment going on, but right now the other team is on top of it. But it looks like these Zealots are going to get surrounded by some Zerglings, and that Marauder is going to take a couple shots at them. But more Zealots are coming up, trying to hold the ramp against the Zerglings. A couple Zerglings slip through, and they're going to get in behind into the Protoss mineral field. But on the other side, we can see that the Architect has put in some more Zerglings into Red Rum's mineral field, and Red Rum is not doing anything to counter these Zerglings. He's just letting all his SCVs be killed right now. Which is weird, because he's got Reapers, which are good against Zerglings until the Zerglings get that speed upgrade. Once they get that speed upgrade, then they really catch up and kill the Reapers, generally speaking. Biocide, switching to Roaches now. Don't know if that's gonna be the best move, although Roaches are really good against Protoss, because they're really good against Zealots and fairly effective against Stalkers as well. Not so good against Zerglings though, and not going to be so good against Marauders from the other team, and they're okay against Marines as well. So it looks like they're planning to focus in on Yellow, who is pretty much dead. He has a couple Reapers out, but they're going to get charged and killed. But they kind of left Biocide alone, who's gone crazy with the Roaches. He's got a lot of Roaches out on the field right now. We look at our army tab. We can see he's easily got the biggest army, almost double anybody else's actually. And the Zealots and Roaches save, kind of, what's left of Red Rum's base, but his command center and one of his barracks are on fire, so that's not good. Also, Roaches have moved into Blue's base. They destroyed an extractor for some reason, but now they're focusing on that spawning pool, and taking out a spawning pool is always a good target when you face a Zerg player. Because for one, they're not going to be able to build Zerglings, but much more importantly, they're not going to be able to make Queens, and they're not going to be able to take the lair if they already haven't. Very critical building, those spawning pools. And up the ramp, these Roaches go. Now going to go into Sky Hero's base, and Sky Hero just have a couple Marines out there. They are being harassed by one Mutalisk, but Roaches have a lot of HP. Unless there's more friends to that Mutalisk, these Roaches are going to be able to do pretty significant damage before the Mutalisk takes them out. Though, oddly enough, Biocide has not researched Roaches, which are, especially now that he's at lair, those are pretty critical for these Roaches, especially because a lot of them are hurt. And if they were able to burrow, they could get some of their health back. And there's still a couple. Oh, we got Banelings going down. Those Banelings are going to take out all of Blue's. Oh, sorry, not Blue. Yeah, no, Purple's forces. And another Mutalisk joins the slow, disintegration of these Roaches. And a couple more are going to die. And one is still following them around, harassing them. It's a slow going. So nothing else going on the map right now. These Roaches are just moving around, looking for more targets to harass. A couple Marauders out by Sky Hero, and they're going to get torn down by those Roaches. Oh, more Zerglings coming in, and now they're going to have enough. Now he's going to have enough Zerglings to actually kill almost all these SCVs. So what seemed like a good start for this team right here has turned against them. They were able to take out one player, but these Roaches were able to counterattack and do a lot of damage. And while they're, despite the fact they have no anti-air capabilities, there's just not enough Mutalisks out there. And those Zerglings are going to be able to take out a Queen and do a little bit more damage to these drones. And finally, that harassment is brought to an end. But at this point, he's got, and apparently the Architect freaks out, and he says to everybody, "Stop killing my Queens." But there's a couple he's got Hydralisks now, so those Mutalisk will not be as effective. So, Sky Hero is going to retreat everything he has, and he's going to move to the high yield mineral patch. And already, Blue seems to be pretty much dead. He's moved over, he's built a new base, and Sky Hero has just stockpiled a ton of minerals. He's in the money. Now it looks like these guys are looking to deal the killing blow to Blue. There's some Mutalisks out there, but they're not going to be enough to take out these Hydralisk and Stalkers, and they're going to get torn down. Just not enough of them out there to be a real threat at this point. And Blue's gonna lose his base. Architect is demanding minerals from his allies to desperately try and keep the fight going. But things are looking pretty grim at this point. Blue's got another base out there, but his spawning pool has been killed again, and he's got nothing to defend if these guys come. And it looks like they are certainly bearing right down upon him. He had 2 Zerglings which were killed in a suicide charge. And it's pretty much over for Chad P. At this point, Architect GG's. And oddly enough, he's building Corruptors for some bizarre reason, which are not going to help so much considering the entire force they have is ground. And Architect leaves the game. So all these guys are now destroying what's left of Blue's base. Blue does have a couple probes, or not probes, drones, shifting around. Sky Hero has been left to his own devices at this point. He's got a couple barracks that he salvaged from his base, and he's pumping out Marines, which is, makes sense considering that he's got lots and lots of minerals. So he's just, he's just pumping as many as he can out from all of his barracks right now. Although he could throw down a couple more and just really, go into full production mode. But who knows if it's going to be enough at this point. Looking at our armies that are still up here. Oh, before I go into that, looks like the enemies are trying to push into what's left of the Architect's base. He's got a couple spine crawlers. They're going to do what they can against these Stalkers, and it's pretty much all over for him. But looking at our army tabs, we can see that both purple and orange considerably outnumber teal at this